What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy, Andrew Schultz. Old man, we'll get off the pod. Episode 114. Joseph and I just got a Covenant Eyes account so we can monitor each other's porn intake. Welcome, motherfuckers.
What's up, man? What is that, Mike Johnson, our new Speaker of the House? Is his son's his accountability buddy for porn. That's fucking cringe.
Accountability buddy.
Well, you never heard that, accountability buddy?
Accountability buddy. No.
Yeah, dude. That's, find your accountability buddy. That's what they used to say. I was like, get out of here.
Who's the life coach in that situation, Mike Johnson or his son?
Probably his son.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, just
is it the adopted son?
No, definitely. He doesn't have a say.
But Matt Gaetz heard about this story. He's like, "Oh, I'm getting a Covenant Eyes with my adopted son."
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd just be like offended. He'd be like, "No, I don't know what type of porn he's watching." It was probably like end up being racist somehow for some weird reason.
Oh yeah, for sure, Nazi porn.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Something weird, some like Jesus porn. Like, I gotta baptize these people, and then it like gets all weird, and it's like, what? Yeah. This is
Catholic
insane.
Priest.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Allegedly. But it's good to be back.
What's his shirt? Do you have a kid in?
Oh, it's a North Korean poster, but it's got Gucci Man on it instead of Kim Jong-un. So the name of this shirt is called Kim Il-sung is the name of this shirt, but it's literally literally got like North Korean like calligraphy and shit on it. Like, so if I wear this out, people are like, "What the fuck is that?" I love this. One of my favorite shirts. This is one of the.
Dude, I wore my. I have a shirt. It's just Kim Jong Un's face on the front and the back, and I wore it to a group therapy session, and somebody was like, told the counselor, she's like, they're like, "Look at his shirt," and I'm sitting right directly in front of her, and she like looks at it like all weird for a sec. She goes, "Is that you?" And I was like, "Is this me?
What are you the?
Is that you, John Wayne?
That's like
Is
me.
That me?" No, like yeah. And I was like, "What the fuck? What's wrong with you? Like I already thought you were crazy." She's like a white lady shaman from Canada.
Of course.
Yeah, she took it too far when she said I look like Kim Jong-un. And then Jia Boy lost 30 pounds since then, so fuck that bitch.
Yeah, fuck you. Shout out.
And Kim Jong-un lost a lot of weight. He got on Ozempic, so it actually... Whatever Kim Jong-un's weight is, I try to stay the same so I can wear the shirt accurately.
What's pretty awesome is we had the Ozempic pandemic earlier, that episode, and now it's blown up, but I don't know if you've seen, like, they're kind of in some trouble. Ozempic's in a little bit that supposedly that it causes it's been known to cause at this point because they don't have that much research on this shit. So it's like a wonder drug that makes people not. It's originally for diabetes and lowering blood sugar and blood pressure and it's Like, right? That's what it was originally for. And then supposedly they knew that it also had all these other effects, these side effects like extreme weight loss and stuff like that.
Right.
So they,
And then they could tailor make it to where
yeah.
that like is more effective than the diabetes thing.
Well, what they could do is while they were selling Ozempic and applying for FDA approval, they could also under the table be like, but hey, it also does all this other shit. So they were
Right.
telling people about it. They promoted it without a whole lot of research. It like blew up, right? I mean, we did a podcast about it months ago. Like, and we talked about it was like
for sure.
May.
Yeah,
I think it was like May. It was May. It was literally in May. And it was when I came back from being in California and being around my sister, and she's talking about all this, all this
dream for your own
all this.
eyes.
No, I was dumbfounded by it. I was like, people don't
skinny people are.
people don't shit for days because they don't want to eat.
That's me already.
But supposedly, what it does is it can cause long-term nerve damage and stomach and intestinal paralysis in people.
Right, I heard that too, but who gives a
There
fuck?
is
Like,
currently
obesity kills people like it's like the number one like
But what
killer.
I am saying is there is a current lawsuit right now, multiple lawsuits. There's one that's filed with a bunch of people that were affected by this, and there's other states that are getting together to where there's about to be potentially a class action lawsuit against those.
Okay, that's because that's where the money is. Like the GLP-1 drugs, that's what they're called. Like these are here to stay, buddy, and they're gonna get people off of alcohol. They're gonna get people off of porn addiction. They're gonna get people off of biting their nails. People smoking cigarettes. Like this thing, it like social media, like all it like they can tailor make it to where it's basically it like stops it. It's like an anti-craving medication.
Well, and I think that there's can be some. I'm just saying, currently, right now, and using
All
it,
of the things that it fixes are so bad to you.
I understand that.
I don't really know what side effects could equal or to outweigh the benefits.
Stomach paralysis, not being able to process food, your stomach stops working
You
because
look good though. You look good.
oh my god, I don't know. I thought that was crazy to begin with, and
I
I saw that. I was watching this lawyer talk about it, talk about the side effects, talk about that. It doesn't affect tons of people, but it has happened to people, and it's something that they were.
You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, you know.
If you know the eggs are gonna break, you can't sit there and do it like that.
You got to break
works.
a few Gregs to make a Tomlet. You know.
I know. I love that line. I love Tom.
I think you're the one who told me that.
I love Tom Haverford. He's like one of my favorites. You know,
He always wins, dude. He always wins.
Yeah, he's. You could get me 50 skulls. What's weird is, and it sounds bad, but I don't think it does. Is I like identify with that, so it's like being so obsessed with efficiency that it's like, how efficient can I possibly be? And it's like it's like a never-ending chase. So whenever he's like, oh, I got to fix this place to make an impact, I could fire 50 people. 50 people, and he still cares. He's not a total monster, but he's a monster.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, his desire for wealth and like clout.
Well,
like,
yeah,
outweighs his empathy.
Yeah, I mean, and he's like, got his own at-home issues, and he's got Shiv, doing his own thing.
You know, he's banging the hottest chick in the game is wearing his chain, dude.
Who?
It was. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was,
and then they ride off at the end and she puts her hand over his hand. They're in the same car.
True.
Get ready for the sequel. Tom running shit in New York, bitch.
You can't have a sequel.
What about a prequel?
But it's almost like she wanted Tom.
Where you get Logan back in there.
It's like Tom wasn't her dad enough for her to be in love with him like that. He had to get over the hump and really
he's a cuck.
Yeah, no, for sure. But then he went from being a cuck to being like not to like, oh, I'm gonna like
implant it.
I get to like
powerful guy.
I get to like smash and now like Shiv's just down. It's not like a thing where we gotta have like 3 people from the hookah lounge come home with us.
Yeah, we're talking about Tom from Succession.
Sorry. I know. Yeah, sorry, I can't help it. And it's not Tom Haverford. Tom Haverford is from Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't even know why. I didn't even know why I said that. That's just the first Tom I think of.
Yeah, not his name.
There's also a shirt that says you got to crack a couple Gregs to make a Tom, and it's got a picture of him. I'm gonna buy it.
So I looked at the topics before we get into therapy questions, and I didn't see our boy CEO, former lord of the therapy questions, Sam Altman of OpenAI, the company that created ChatGPT,
Yeah.
was ousted by the board of OpenAI on Friday out of nowhere. Their biggest partner, Microsoft, no idea until you and I found out. That's when the CEO found out of Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then
There's just so much
everybody,
shit going on, honestly. That's
I
why
know,
it's
it was
like
wild.
I had to add
I know.
another
I don't
Elon,
know. I
and
don't blame you,
it's
but I
like
just
it's
wanted to give.
wild.
I'm just going to give the people a brief
Yeah, 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 yeah.
TikTok, if you will, of what happened over the weekend.
Mm.
So board ousted him right after closing bell on Friday. Um, and Sam Altman, the CEO, 36-year-old CEO, same age as Joseph and I. So he's a billionaire at this point. The 1 year anniversary of releasing ChatGPT is in 1 week. So the shit's been around for 1 year. I mean, OpenAI has been around before, like longer, but like they launched ChatGPT. They gained $90 million in market, 90 billion, sorry,
Yeah.
90 billion dollars in market cap since last November. And the board, so OpenAI, the reason why it's called open is because they were gonna release the code, like, open source, and so that it was gonna be nonprofit, and then they realized, oh, we could be like the richest company in the history of companies. And it's really what they realized, it's so fucking expensive to get compute for AI and like building models, and
Yeah.
so that you have to like have it like for profit, like just to keep up. So they had a for-profit side, nonprofit side. The nonprofit side, they the board was implemented in case a CEO was going too fast and trying to like make a profit out of it. That's why they had a board, and that's what they thought he was doing. So they fucking ousted him. Everybody lost it. All of like they had the majority of their 700 employees sign on a letter by Saturday saying that they would leave the company if they didn't reinstall Sam Altman as CEO, and the whole board resigned. And the board didn't respond to that. Uh, and so Sam Altman came back to the building, wore a guest badge, posted. He goes, "This is the first and last time I'll ever wear one of these." They negotiated. They didn't come up with anything. So guess what? Microsoft, which owns all the rights to everything OpenAI's done, they own all of the IP because they invested, and their main function in OpenAI is they provide the computing power. So if OpenAI disappeared tomorrow, it all still exists because Microsoft has everything.
Yeah, they're
So what did Microsoft do? They hired Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, the former CEO of a day, to work for their special division that they created of like new technology, and all of his homies. And so now he's just under Microsoft's payroll, and they just keep on moving. And Microsoft still invested in OpenAI, but it's going to be really hard, And the reason like Sam Altman was out getting funding for OpenAI when this happened, and so it's going to be really fucking hard to get funding now as a nonprofit organization without Sam Altman. It's going to dry up in a second, and then they're not going to have the ability to function, but Microsoft will just take it over.
well, I mean, yeah, they're just Microsoft's just gonna absorb it.
Yeah.
They're just gonna absorb his shit. Like this is our
It
this.
was like the biggest fuck up ever, in my opinion, that I've seen in a long time by a company. Yeah, he just like made this a top five company, potentially the number one company in the world, and y'all just fired him with like in a year of launch.
It's like being
Such an
in
unforced error.
it's like being in a duplex and you're living there, and then you have like a roommate and you get kicked out. Your roommate kicks you the fuck out, and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here! You're a piece of shit." So they boot you out, but like the landlord owns the property and y'all are homies, and he's like, "Yeah, you fixed this whole place the fuck up and done all the work, so you're just a property manager now, and you can live in the duplex next door." And it's like it's only a matter of time before like you're probably not
Before
gonna
you're
have.
kicking out the
Yeah,
old guy.
because when your lease is not going to be renewed and you're going to be moving the fuck out, and like
I mean,
that's
think about it. They ousted him. Everybody likes this guy. They said, okay, this was their statement. They said, for less than candid comments with the company, you know, it's like less than candid. So they're calling him a liar, and then they have no proof of like anything that he's lied about, or they don't come clean with it, or they don't. So it's like everybody's like, "What the fuck? We like this guy. He's amazing. He's the reason why you guys even like are where you are at."
He's so likable that they don't like that he's that likable.
Yeah.
It's like the same.
No,
It's
no. They thought that he was moving too fast and he was a danger to society.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that he can go out there and get funding and get people to invest and believe in this idea and help it expand, whether he's trying to make money or not, the money's going to come with it, whether he's actively seeking it or not. And part of growing this nonprofit and getting money involved is going out and seeking money. So you're pissed off that he's trying to make money too fast, but in turn he's also bringing you money, which is helping fund this whole project. Besides what Microsoft is doing. So some people don't like that. There's genuinely people out there who despise people who are out there to go like rizz up a crowd and be like, yeah,
No. I mean, this board is supposed to be altruistic. I forget what the term is. Like it's like altruistic investing or venture.
No, but you have a $90 billion market cap in a year.
No, increase in the market.
Increase in the market cap for everybody's got some sort of shade of green to their fucking eyes who has a decision that can be made, whether I'm not supposed to be involved, I'm just making decisions, and I'm just looking at the facts. That's all circumstantial. That's all bullshit. I think that's so subjective to fire somebody for some subjective
insanity.
bullshit.
Yeah, and to the point where, like, within 24 hours, the entire company, everybody that works there said they were going to quit unless you, the board, resigned and brought back, not only brought back the guy that you just fired, but then fired yourselves.
Yeah. Bring him back and then let him fire you in front of all of us. And then buy me Waffle House, motherfucker. I'm getting
hash
cheese.
With
cheese. Everything, bitch. Bacon, jalapeno cheese, hash.
And I'm gonna fight somebody at 2 a.m. in the parking lot.
Yeah,
what you do at
that's
Waffle
what we
House.
do. And Bev, the lady who's back there making the waffle, she gonna jump in because I tipped her that good. That's how we roll around here. That's why you tip.
Beat with a metal spatula, bitch.
That's why if you regularly go to a Waffle House, you should always tip good at a Waffle House. Because if a fight does break out and you're like a notoriously good tipper at that Waffle House, and everybody's got your back. Like, yo, bro, back up. He gave me $35 last week. Back the fuck up. That was a 45% tip. You tripping? Like they're all gonna be, and they like have like sleeves and shit now. I don't know if you've seen
everybody's got
no, but I mean no, like Waffle House checkered like suppression sleeves, like they're about to run like an out route or a sluggo, bro. I'm not even kidding you. It's a trip. They're awesome. I was like, where do you get this Waffle House drip, bro? Like, do you have to pay for it? Because like,
okay, so I listened to the Microsoft CEO. Kara Swisher, who's like the #1 tech business podcaster, reporter. She's been around since AOL, since before AOL. She got him on the fucking phone real quick, and dude, he sounded happy as a clam. He was like, but you could tell, like, in his subtle, like, way, he was pissed about like that he didn't know. And he was like, that will never, ever happen to us ever again, where they get surprised by like he's like, just as partners, like you would think they give us a heads up. Like we don't we totally support their independence, but like, we've invested so much and been working with Sam Altman this whole time. Sam Altman brought Microsoft to OpenAI, him specifically.
Yeah.
And they're like, so just give us a fucking heads up. So they're like, if Sam Altman goes back as CEO, they're going to like basically have an observer at the board or board seat Microsoft, because they don't now. But he was like, dude, like this all worked out. He was the one who was saying, he's like, we own all their shit. Now we have Sam Altman, like, working directly with us. So he's like, I'm just as happy as I was Friday morning.
Yeah, we can update them on the source code that they don't want to make. That like
we have that all the shit that they're like scrolling to use to like all the data to like dump into the generative models like is coming from Microsoft.
Yeah, and it's like they could be like, all right, well, we're going to somebody else.
No, they're just like, we'll do it ourselves.
They're like, we have it.
Yeah,
you can go do whatever you want with your nonprofit, but we have all of the shit. So you'd have to recreate it without the people who built it, and you'd have to pitch it.
Oh, and by the way, we have those people.
Yeah, and you'd have to pitch it without the person that made it, helped make it famous in the first place. So good luck. Yeah, so good luck. Send us
on your nonprofit journey.
Send us a Zoom link when this happens so we can watch.
Yeah. the best part of this, like for me or for my family, is
Yeah.
that my mom is one stalker. She has one stock, and it's Microsoft. She has hundreds of shares, so uh, this it's up it's up a ridiculous amount since the beginning of October. And it was already up a ridiculous amount. And then on Monday, it shot up again because they're like, "Oh, you guys just hired Sam Altman. Cool, we're good." It was down a little bit today, but I think like a lot of the market was, but it wasn't down more than it was up yesterday. So my mom's chilling. She's like, she just like sends me like screenshots of Microsoft's like stock like periodically. I'm just like, yep, yep.
Yeah, that's when you know someone's on a good stock vibe when they're
She's
just
on,
sending you
yeah, she's like you
screenshots.
at the craps table, dude.
Yeah, with like no context, just like random. You're just like, oh, and they don't no follow up. You're just like, all
Nah,
right,
just a flex.
yeah, just flexing.
All right, and then the other thing was right before we went on air, they announced that they finally got the deal with Hamas and Israel to release 50 hostages, all women and children, and then in return, Israel will put a ceasefire out there for 4 days and release 150 Palestinian women and children prisoners. So that got done.
That situation, man. I mean,
It's wild.
it's just fucking wild. It's and now there's all the, I mean, we've talked about it some, and it's not. It's just so goofy. Like the whole conversation, people are so hyper reactive and explosive on this topic. And
Dude,
it's
people are dumb.
people
Like
are
the whole open letter to America by Bin Laden going like viral on TikTok. They're like, oh, like you read this letter by Osama bin Laden, like really opens your eyes, like on American foreign policy. It's like, what the like, dude, listen to yourself.
yeah.
You're repping Bin Laden now because you're an idiot. And of course China's like, sticking the thumb on the scale there and like making that shit probably go viral on TikTok. Like, and then it's just so people like Susan Sarandon just like got dropped by her agency because she was like at a pro-Palestinian thing, like, or like it wasn't even pro-Palestinian, it was like an anti-Israel like.
They just fired the girl from Scream. They fired one of the girls from Scream for, making comments about Israel, and they just like completely. They're just like, yeah, you're done. So you're not going to be
like
in the
have
next
no
Scream.
idea of the fucking history behind it, and it's like by far the Jews and Israel have a way stronger case to be where they are than the fucking Palestinians. And that's not even what we're like talking about. And it's like it's Hamas, a fucking terrorist organization. It's like it's that they're trying to kill. And it's like when we got hit on 9/11 and we just went in like fucking crazy into Afghanistan and then Iraq for some fucking reason. Like nobody was saying anything about like, oh, you're killing too many civilians. It's like, dude, like they had 3,000 people die. Like, go do what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, but it is more nuanced than that. I mean, in the sense that they're. I mean, if you were a person that would be like born in like on the Gaza Strip, like that would be
Oh, it was terrible.
like that would be it wouldn't like your whole like life and destiny is like predetermined, and like there's only like two routes you can go, and it's
It's just been, but it's been that fucking way for like 20 years. Like Hamas has been around since 2000. What did they get in 2006?
yeah,
On
something
an
like that.
election, and then they haven't had another one. It's like, and before that, it was fucked up. So that's all been fucked up. And like, my dad would tell me about this shit when I was like 18. My dad would be like, dude, I don't know about Israel. And like, I'm like, what are you talking about? They're our best ally, like in the Middle East. He's like, ally? Like, whatever. It's like, what have they done for us? They just cause us fucking problems. And I thought that was crazy. And then he would talk to me about it more. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it is fucked up. Like what's going on, like with like the Gaza Strip. Uh, that's
But that's
fucking
it's
15, 20 years ago we're
well,
talking about it. But when a terrorist attack happens to Israel is when everybody's going to jump against Israel. That's the fucking stupid part.
no, definitely. I don't think that. I think that it's more people thinking that there's extremes being taken when it comes to that, and then people being frustrated because it's almost justifying going out there and doing some of these things. But then there's videos of there's like they found tunnels. There's all sorts of wild shit. It's fucking crazy. The whole. I mean,
Yeah, and
I'm a
if you
big.
want to listen to Bin Laden, his whole thing was terrorism is specifically a tool to make the other side overreact and then drain their resources and also create sympathy for the people, the
For the
terrorists.
cause, for the
Yeah, for
cause.
the cause.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's exactly what they've done. That they've caused Israel to overreact because there's no really other option. Like, the Israeli people are like, yo, you have to go fucking. How can you let this happen? And then now you have to go fucking do something about it. So it worked. Hopefully, it just doesn't work to the point where there's so much sympathy for the cause of Hamas that, like, it opens up like a giant war. But I think us rolling over our aircraft carrier, like right next to Iran, and being like, do something, has really like helped. Like without that, like I guarantee you, like, this would have already broken out with like Lebanon, like way harder than it has already.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Which Lebanon, Egypt, Israel, all listen to the podcast.
well, but I mean, and we've seen just in that region, there's been a big Muslim movement and like these fundamentalist organizations that have taken a hold of these governments that
Like the Muslim Brotherhood
in Egypt.
Hamas is like a part of. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
The Muslim Brotherhood tried to take hold, and then they got elected, and then there was the coup with the General Assisi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you're right.
I mean, that's partially why they're like, no, we don't want to let anybody in from Gaza or Palestine or any of them in, because if you do, you're abandoning that area, and we need you to stay there to fight for this cause. So it's not like everybody there. So whenever they're like, oh, Egypt and Israel are talking about what it's not like they're on the same team. Like,
no,
they're not on
different, totally different, like
end goals. Yeah, and totally different end goals. Everybody does. So it's just the whole. I mean, I'm a big Christopher Hitchens fan.
He's tight.
Yeah,
R.I.P.,
so
right.
Yeah, but he's got some, wild takes I don't want to say on this podcast without getting canceled in some way, shape, or form. But he just has an opinion on like the whole idea and the movement and the history. He might still be alive. Let me see.
I thought he died. But you're talking about shit he wrote back in the day?
Or just like about this in general. No, 2011 he died in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but he obviously atheist, but he has a very unbiased third party, in my opinion, on some of these topics. And I just implore you to go look at some of his debates or listen to his take, because he's able to discuss the topic and take the religion out of it, which is really like what it's about. So it's like, sitting there and looking at it from with a different set of lenses, and not without like the labels.
I know. Okay, I'll
yeah, it's just saying like.
But like, I'll just counter that, like, without knowing what he's actually saying. That like this hatred for Jews has been like thousands of years old. So
no. It's not even that. It's not even no. What I'm saying, I'm not even saying that. He talks about the idea, the history, the concept, different end goals, and just him talking about it and how convoluted and misconstrued everybody's got some weird angle, and that they're all weird angles, basically. It's interesting.
It's really known to be like the hardest fucking problem to solve in the world. Like, this has been going on for decades and decades, since 1945. Like, people have had a problem with this.
It's been going on
Israel got
longer
attacked
than
in
that,
1947 with by Egypt, and whooped their ass out of nowhere, and everybody's like, what? And then it happened again in the 60s, and then we finally brokered the deal with Egypt that we'll give them $1 billion a fucking year if they stop fucking with Israel, and they agreed.
That's so wild.
Dude, and it's held like peace from between them two since then. It's like 50 years now. We just break off Egypt every year with $1 billion. And then when they have a coup, we don't say it's a coup, because we have to give them $1 billion to not fuck with Israel.
Yeah, we have to be like, hey, no, it
was a coup.
Free and fair election.
And that was our boy Barack.
Yeah, right. He's like, I'm not getting involved.
Yeah.
Here's the check. Here's the check.
So those are some of the top. We have even more. It's been such a wild ass week.
It really has been.
But we'll go to therapy questions.
All right.
So, therapy question number 1, Joseph. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future?
At 10 minutes into the future in any scenario, or like just like 10 minutes into the future in my life?
No, I think like you like 10 minutes at any time.
At any time.
Like you know what's gonna happen 10 minutes from then. Super, super helpful.
Yeah, maybe the 10 minutes. 150 years would probably just be depressing.
Well, yeah. To me, it would be like I'd like to see 150 years once. But if I'm not gonna be around, then why would I give a fuck?
Yeah, and if
Unless I could use what I see there, you know.
to your advantage.
Right.
See,
But
that's what
10
I was
minutes,
thinking.
you always good.
Yeah, you're always good. You could just wake up right before the market hits,
Exactly.
and just like you'd be like,
Throw a bet,
yeah,
and then if it didn't work out, don't do it.
yeah, you'd be able to see the end of the game, so you could throw some. Yeah, you could do some wild shit.
Live bet.
Yeah, you could be like, all right, $100 million on he's gonna miss this field
10
goal.
minutes before the election.
Yeah, oh yeah, you could do some wild shit. Boxing match, you'd be able to see who won a match. You could do some pretty crazy stuff.
I know. I think the 10 minutes is definitely way worth it.
But
Over the 150 years.
150 would only be cool, but there would be like have to be
You're like
stipulated.
advising a president.
But I'd have to have like, it'd have to be some like Aladdin shit where I was like on a carpet. I got to see the world 150 years from now, not just like like the burbs
A
of
random scene.
yeah, like up like outside DFW, like 20 minutes from the Heb, from the HEB. Like I don't want to see what like my neighborhood.
Right.
It need to be something where it's like, all right,
So,
I got to
so
go
you're saying
see.
like where you are.
Yeah.
150 years. You want to see You want to be like Neon Mushrooms at Avatar too. You want to traverse the world.
Yeah, I'd want to traverse the world and see, because if maybe civilization's not here, what does Antarctica look like now?
Right.
Because
Yeah,
then if you
definitely.
could see that, then you could maybe like go rogue and.
Because then if you could see the sporting events, I guess it's on your TV.
But you could like go rogue and go to Antarctica and like dig some shit up that like melts 150 years from now and be like, no, look, like, god damn it. But they say that's going to start World War III whenever somebody explores Antarctica.
Yeah, because like the United States has claims, Russia has claims, Canada has claims, China acts like they do.
Well, I mean, we went down there for a bit. Some people poked around and looked, and then they came back and were like, "Hey, let's all agree to not go
Wait,
there."
Are you talking about Antarctica or the Arctic?
Antarctica.
Okay.
Yeah, and
The only continent that doesn't listen to Talk Shit or Get Off the Pod, pointed out by my ex-girlfriend when we finally got all 6 continents.
Damn, she said
I was
that.
like,
That's
like
harsh.
every continent. She's like, well, except for Antarctica, and I was like, oh, okay, bitch.
That's a cold move. That's cold blooded. But I mean, back in the early 1900s, people were like exploring that shit. We're like, let's go check this shit
That's
out.
different. That's not what I was talking about. Was the Arctic?
Oh, the Arctic.
Canada, Russia.
Well, I'm talking about like 150 years from now. What does Antarctica look like? Maybe some shit's thawed.
To
And
maybe
then-
it's like Palm Beach.
Dude,
Without the racism.
that'd be rowdy. And then like you go on some like Lex Luthor shit, and you're the one who starts the first Antarctic resort, and then you live for forever on some like weird dark shit or something like that.
Hell yeah.
That'd be tight. Yeah, 10 minutes though. That's more practical. 150. That could also be like,
It's a novelty.
what if everybody else is dead? Then you're like, this fucking sucks, and that's the only thing I can go look at is that when I look, I'm gonna go have another vision and see what's happening, and it's just like everything's gone. It's just desolate. That'd be shitty as fuck.
Well, if you knew that, then would you live life differently, even though you'd be dead anyways by then? Would you be like, yo, this is the last 100 years of Earth, motherfuckers. Let's party.
Yeah, but but what if you doing that? See, that's where it's like
Changes. Then everybody lives.
change it. No,
Okay, well, then
that's why everyone dies. Is because you're like,
because
I've
you
seen
tell
the
everybody?
future and everyone dies, and they believe you on some like Long Island medium shit. And then next day, shout out hairdo, Long Island medium.
She got the bob.
Yeah,
She got the
dude,
bob and the bangs.
That's such a fucking ridiculous show. Yeah, maybe like then that's all I get to see is like death, destruction. Everybody buys in, so that you be like basically starts a massive cult, and then we destroy the planet, and then it comes to fruition. That sounds
whatever.
Sounds
then,
kind of.
Then you don't have any free will.
Sounds
We've decided.
kind of tight. That sounds kind of tight, but also not good.
My mom just asked me like an hour ago, like if there was like a nuclear bomb and everybody in the family died besides like 1 or 2 people, would you want to be one of the 2, or everybody died? I was like, I'll take one of the 2. I was like everybody in the family? Yeah, I'll be one of the 2. Like, she didn't say everybody in the world.
Yeah, just the fam. Yeah, I want to live.
Yeah,
What's up,
I'll
bro?
stick it out. I'll stick it
I'll,
out.
I'll remember y'all. I'll remember you strongly, Ma. I got you.
Shout out. Yeah,
I'll
I'll
get
pull one out.
I'll get a radioactive tattoo post bomb.
Yeah, I'll buy alcohol. I don't drink it, but so it'll be easy to pour one out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably want to be one of the ones that lives just because I'm,
Well, yeah,
smoked a
because I
lot
don't
of
wanna die.
weed, played a lot of Fallout 4, and the whole premise is like the world's destroyed by nukes and you got to survive. So I'm like, this is my moment. I've been ready for this.
You've been prepared.
I know how to get all the XP. Like, we'll build a shelter. I just need like, 2 planks of wood and a piece of sheet metal, and I can build
I
a
don't know,
house.
dude. You're a bot, bro. You're a bot.
An NPC.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, then you just survive. If you're an NPC, like the game.
Elon's player one, dude.
If Oh my God, if there's
That's
a
what he
nuke
said,
and he's
so
like
it must be true.
hooked up to wires, like I'm gonna save. Like, get
I'm
out of here,
player
bro!
one.
Get those fucking wires off your fingers. That shit's taped on. That ain't doing nothing. He's like, my bad, guys. I'm sorry.
bad, I took too much
Oh
of my
damn, yeah, sorry guys. I was going.
Where's my cowboy hat?
Yeah, I was just trying to be. I'm like the only guy in 500 miles of electricity, so I was really.
Oh, Amber Heard. Amber.
I was really
Come over
planning
here,
it.
shit on my bed.
Yeah. Johnny hated it. I love it.
I love
I love shitty shit.
Yo, Johnny, where do you think that you got that idea? I've been having her shit on my bed for years.
Lady in the streets, skid marks in the sheets. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Amber, waves a grand,
Dude, that's gross. Yeah, 10 minutes.
Okay. Therapy question number 2. Would you rather be, I wanted to change this, so I will, just off the cuff. Rather be in prison for 5 years or be in a coma for a decade?
Probably a coma for a decade. If I go in prison for 5 years, I'm just like another black guy statistic, and that's kind of shitty.
Let me ask, like, we never talk about it as society, but everybody's like always like also like so impressed when somebody comes out of a coma, like, oh my god. Well, what are the side effects of a coma?
I mean, it depends. Some people have like, short term.
You're just ready. You're just back in the game.
Some people come back and they're just like, what's up? Like, it's weird. And some people come back with permanent damage. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, obviously,
So you're
muscle.
risking permanent damage,
muscle.
but you also are risking that in 5 years in prison.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, oh, yeah, different type of damage
Psychologically,
too. Psychologically, physically, anally. There's lots of ways.
Emotionally.
Yeah, there's lots of ways. But if you.
Like our boy Todd Chrisley is in jail.
Dude, that's the funniest.
He's living it up.
That is the funniest thing. Chrisley knows best.
I just saw on the news that the appeals court agreed to hear Savannah Chrisley's oral argument of why her parents shouldn't be in jail. And she was all excited. And I was like, he's still in jail? My mom said, yeah, he got like 11 years.
They both did, and they're like separated, so they're not even.
Dude, she was a lesbian this whole time, and he was gay this whole
No,
time.
she had some side
think she had
piece
some
that
side
was
boy?
just drilling her out, dude. It was someone that was like
I could
friends
see it.
with her kids who came back from
Like a black security guard.
fucking South Carolina or wherever the fuck they go. He's like, hey, I'm just in town with your kid. She's like, oh, hey. And he's like, you have fun with that boy. There is the weirdest show ever. And it's just real estate scams. DJ Envy doing real estate scams. Like, what's with all these fucking Gen X boomers running these real estate scams and getting
Dude, that's
caught
what the,
with their
as the IRA would
veneers.
say,
Just running
is
around
like,
with their fucking veneers, ripping people
Yeah.
the fuck off. It's wild.
It's like they all just bought up real estate, and that's why it's all expensive now. And
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like now they're just scamming. They're scheming with it.
I remember my
They're
dad.
on that George Santos.
I remember my dad was talking to me because my dad's older, shout out dad. He turned 80 in October, and he's tight as fuck. And one time it's super cool because I talked to him about it now. He's retired, but he still does consulting. He's like an engineer consultant, super brainiac dude. And he was explaining, he's like, I have so much experience, and these kids come out with no experience and such a lack of social skills and being able to go find this stuff out. Like when my dad was going to Harvard Business School, my dad was no, but it's true though. But think about it though. He's in fucking the book stacks, like looking shit up with the Dewey Decimal System
my baby's
in the 50s, bro.
college.
Yeah, and that's
and we were
wild.
still, but that's why we're out. We're gonna just don't even have to think about Gen Z stealing my job, because of they don't have the social skills, but also it's because I did that same thing. Went through the stacks at the library at the college when I was a kid with my college babysitter. But I'm saying like, and then we got cell phones, and then we got social media. It's like we had both worlds. Like these kids woke up from, they came out the fucking womb, and somebody put a fucking cell phone in their hand. It's like they don't even have a choice. Like we had a normal life, and then we like adapted with the new technology, whereas these kids, this new technology's adapted already, and they just have to deal.
It's just adapted to them to get to them sooner and sooner.
It's like anti-social media.
Yeah, I mean, but like he was explaining to me how he was saying like, this is when he was in his like 60s, and he's like, I could go, like I could quit working. He's like, but it's so hard for these young people to take our spots because they don't have the experience and the whole progression of chemical engineering and refining of chemicals. It's like I'm a part of that. Like I helped create what this shit is now or was. I was a part of like, this generation of young engineers in the 60s and 70s who really refined this shit, no pun intended, and figured out the best ways to do it that was the most efficient. Destroyed the planet, and he owns that every day. He's like, no, we fucked shit up, and I feel bad about it. So he's honest about it. It's great. Oh, it's really refreshing.
The only boomer to ever.
But I mean, because he sees it, he's like, well, I have kids. He's like, I know, I see
Is
what.
he even a boomer? Because you said if he was doing
No,
this in the 50s.
he's like, I guess he's not greatest generation.
Greatest generation?
He graduated high school in like mid 50s, so like 56 or something, okay, like 57. So he's going to sock hops and shit.
He's like in that. Like
Greece. He grew up in like the time of Greece,
right.
And
not old enough to go to World War II, but not young enough to be a baby boomer.
And then was in school.
The lost generation.
In college for engineering. So
did he go to Korea?
And he actually
college.
He didn't go to because wait, when was Vietnam? Vietnam was the
70s.
Yeah,
so it kind of popped off in the 60s, but 70s really.
Yeah, so he went to Korea in the early 60s, and he was an officer, and he was an artillery officer.
Korea was like the 50s and 60s.
No, so he was in Korea, and then he didn't go to Vietnam. And by the time he was Vietnam, he was in like business school. He was like up, so he didn't get drafted. He didn't have to go. But he had a bunch of friends who ended up having to go, and that's like this whole.
I think my dad missed it by a year.
Yeah.
Vietnam.
But he admitted there that his people his age and younger, but not much younger, are holding up jobs, keeping people from getting promoted, keeping people from excelling in their careers, refusing to quit their jobs, doing these things to where they're just riding it out as long as they fucking can. And he's like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do because I work so hard to get to this point that I don't really want to quit working. And with the life expectancy for everybody going up so much, it's like it's hard for some 32-year-old unless you're like brainiac smart. Otherwise, you're starting out way lower and with way less say than when I started out when I came out of school because we've built that structure to where it's so much bigger that it's almost impossible to snake your way to the. But it's
his industry. And there's new industries being built all the time.
True, but what I am saying is that like if the likelihood of you going and becoming the CEO of ExxonMobil or something like that, and starting out as just some surface level engineer and working your way up to that point now is damn near impossible in comparison to what it was like for my dad and my dad's generation. That it's different. The structure of it's different. It's more convoluted. There's more red tape. There's more bureaucracy. There's also
moving around to different jobs, like
so now there's like quiet quitting and stuff. Yeah.
Well, the CEO of Microsoft, the current one. He's been with Microsoft for 32 years, like he started off like as a kid, like working there, and then he became a CEO. And so I guess what you're saying is
to do it now, it's easier for you to start your own business and be your own CEO and chase your riches than and just figure out the experience and hopefully get bought out by somebody than it is to start working for a company. Start out with a company and just be like, my goal is to run this company. That's like almost impossible. That track almost doesn't exist anymore for a lot of people. You'd have to be a savant. You'd have to do something revolutionary. Because there's, stories, this guy, we're going to make a movie about the guy who came up with Flamin' Hot Cheetos and how he still works for Cheetos and is just some big wig dude. And that's a badass story because he was a plant worker and came up with this recipe, and it's like all that's cool, but dude, if you were like, hey, I got this new chip, they'd be like, get the fuck out of here, dude, go back to the mailroom. They don't like they wouldn't they it'd be the same people who watched that guy rise to that level that would be the same people to tell you to
Yeah,
shut the fuck
I
up.
mean, like in the entertainment industry, it's like it's in some ways easier ever to get like discovered, but it's also really like saturated because it's like so easy. So now there's just so many more people involved, and it's so
Well, that's the progression of all social media, like YouTube and all these. Like what we're doing, we're streaming on YouTube, Kick, Facebook, and Twitch. If we were doing an IRL stream and roaming around and harassing people outside a dollar store, we'd have like 800 people watching us right now, and they'd be like, "Yeah," because now it's become so saturated. It's all about the attention. So what can I do to get your attention and get it
yeah,
again?
yeah, yeah.
Because everybody's attention's so quick. So what do I got to do to keep it? That's why TikTok is like people are like, oh, I work, I'm a full-time TikToker and I post like 30 TikToks a day. It's because they got to keep riding that wave.
You have to, because if you stop, then
You'll get washed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, fuck that.
So there's a lot of people's hopes and dreams, especially this younger generation, and it's in some ways it's not our fault. I don't think it's our fault because it's affecting us in the same way, but not exactly the same. That they're starting out as when we were like, all right, we're gonna go do this shit. Let's go get this shit. They don't have that same motivation when they're getting out because they can see that it's already like, oh man, I can't vote, and I can't vote, and I'm 14 and I'm gay, and everybody that's gay is being persecuted right now, or they see all of these things that are happening around the world with people and they can't make decisions. It's like with us, whenever it was like Iraq War, Afghanistan, we couldn't
pre-9/11, post-9/11.
Pre-9/11, we saw we couldn't vote, so all these people, all these fucking Gen Xers and Boomers are like, oh, we gotta, and it was like there was just war hungry, and so our generation is like, man, can we like to stop going to war with people, motherfuckers, like all of the time? That's why we have that take, is because we've since we were in, oh my god, for
freshman year.
But even you think we had Desert Storm, we had other conflicts throughout the 90s. So like a majority of our lives, like 90% of our lives, our government's been at some sort of warfare conflict with another country on the other side of the world. So we're 100%. Burnt. So we're burned the fuck out on it.
God bless America.
And then for them, it's their entire lives. It's not just we got like 4 or 5 glory years. Like, hey, 96 to like 98. This is 99. Austin Powers came out. This movie's hilarious. Michael Myers is back. All this stupid shit happened.
Yeah, it's like weird. It's like, how China's so surveilled now. Like they have cameras everywhere. Like you're just walking down the street and there's like it's like pops up all your information. They're like, I think about that. Like there's Chinese kids and that become adults that never lived in a place that didn't have that, so they just feel like it's probably normal.
Yeah.
Like once you cross that line of it's like all this shit, like the Homeland Security, or what was the fucking act that like led
Patriot Act?
The Patriot Act. Like kids that don't even understand that was like not a thing up until like this century.
Oh yeah, that was wild. It was like, oh yeah, we're looking at everybody's shit now.
Like you just think it's normal, like if you were born and that's just how it is.
Yeah, exactly. You just think
that's like stoplights.
Yeah, you think.
I guess that's just what it is.
It's nature, it's the human condition. It's what you're around, nature versus nurture. So you're in like, so we, I think as a generation, have a moxie about us, that go get it attitude. We still have a little bit of that, like, well, fuck it, we're going to stick it to you. As we're like these younger kids, I think they're coming out kind of like more advanced, like frustrated with this shit. So hopefully,
supposedly they're the most optimistic generation, which I don't know if that's true, but I heard that recently.
I mean, it's maybe about. I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I think that
it's easier to laugh than cry.
I think they are, but I mean, it's. I mean, it depends on the person's support system. Because I mean, it'd be tough. I'm looking at buying a house, and it's like depressing as fuck.
Oh, flex on them again.
Well, no, I'm not, because it's depressing as fuck. Because I'm like, man, I've got so much money saved that if this was like 2001, I'd go buy a fucking 2-story house, and I'm gonna get outbid by some fucking real estate mogul
Yeah.
Like Roxanne Taylor or some bullshit in
Oh,
South
shout out
Lake.
Roxanne.
She's gonna come and like buy it up with like put leopard print on it, and she's just gonna outbid me because she can. She's gonna overpay 30% just to price me the fuck out of a house. Like that.
Yeah.
That's what these people are doing, and that's the problem. So if you're watching that already, that's just depressing. What's it?
That does.
Yeah, like
you
how
just
much?
depressed me.
Yeah, how much farther down the line is this gonna continue? When does it stop? Till it's like there's there's a Meta and an SpaceX of just real estate that owns everything. And if you want a house, you got to go apply through them. Like it's you have these conglomerates, a conglomerate when it comes to like houses and it's like buy it, flip it, shake it, change it,
Yeah, they're just
bop
fucking
it.
slumlords.
Yeah, but it's like slumlords, but now they're TikToking about it, So it's like really annoying. They're like, I gotta start this channel about people. I'm about to evict this person. I'm gonna get them on camera.
God.
Have you ever watched those?
No,
a live
it's
stream
not in my
of this?
algorithm, dude.
It's my algorithm's wild, so I get all sorts of.
I haven't really been on TikTok.
No, I don't know. I don't. Not just even
But
on TikTok. This is just like on anything. I just don't have a TikTok. I'm like, I don't want China getting all my data.
Well, don't worry. The podcast does.
No, I
And
know.
all it is videos of my dog
Or the beach.
or me rapping
Yeah, or the beach. Or you rapping.
or the beach.
Or you drop in a truth bomb a month early on Prigozhin.
Oh, that's right. Shout out.
So, that didn't happen.
Therapy question number 3. Would you rather have universal respect or unlimited power?
Probably universal respect.
Yeah, because I feel like with universal respect comes
Yeah, you got to be. It's being respected
unlimited
is more.
power.
Being respected, I think, is more important than having power.
Well, definitely more important. But people do fucking anything for power. Just look at
Oh.
the Republican fucking Party.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could. Yeah, I mean,
So, but you and I are just simple guys,
what's the quote
We
where
just
it's like,
want a lollipop in our mouth or no.
what is it?
A
It's, like,
lollipop in my butt and butter on my ass.
it's something around power.
I don't know.
Power corrupts. Like
Oh, yeah.
absolute
Yeah.
power corrupts absolutely, or something
Yes,
like that.
that is legit. That is the quote.
Oh, it is? Okay, yeah. So I mean
Absolute
that.
power corrupts absolutely. That's why you don't want a dictator.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there's that. I'd rather.
You don't want Gucci man in North Korea just handing out ice cream cones.
There's another quote, Machiavellian quote. I'd rather be feared than respected if I can't have both, which is like a different approach.
Yeah.
Which is very
Talked about that.
very dictator. But I love that quote. But it's true. So I mean, I'd rather have universal respect. Like everybody.
It's not. No. It's not respected. I'd rather be feared than loved.
I'd rather be feared than loved if I can't have both.
Joseph froze. Go.
No, I'm back.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was. I'd rather be feared than loved.
Yeah, if I can't have both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, Machiavelli. Nobody loves you.
Yeah.
Sad. You sad Italian.
No one loved him. It was sad. Probably one of the saddest.
He died like a dog.
He cried. He cried like a dog.
He groomed like a dog. Like
Jesus
Trump
Christ.
is. I'm just saying, like, Trump is the only person who he thinks that people don't like dogs. Like, he's the only president who never had a dog in the White House. Like recently, I guess. But he's like, he laid down like a dog. And it's like, dude, you realize that people love their dogs?
Like, dogs are cute, man. Dogs
Yeah,
lay down pretty fun. They cross their legs. They're like, oh, look at that, look at that guy. He's cute.
Yeah. He's doesn't. It's like a fucking thing in his brain. He doesn't associate dogs with goodness. So he just died like a dog. We killed him like a dog. You kill dogs? Like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
what the hell, dude?
We killed Baghdadi like a dog.
Baghdadi.
No, but he actually said, he was like, we had these beautiful dogs that came in, and they did have a bunch of dogs that when we killed the head of ISIS, Baghdadi, because they thought that he would be strapped with a suicide vest, and then they just let the dogs fuck him up instead. Dark color.
Who is it? Who we
Shane
killed?
Gillis was telling that.
Yeah, well, Shane Gillis' joke on that's really funny. Who's the other guy we killed after we left Afghanistan with that
We killed Zawari.
Yeah, Zahari. Yeah, Zahari with
Yeah, with a
helicopter drone blade from the
chop
sky.
blade. Yeah,
A chop blade from the sky. That's
yeah.
like,
It was like a seen on TV chopper for your for your fruit and vegetables, but in a drone missile.
came down on him.
On him, chopped him into bits so
That's
that we wouldn't hurt his family.
That's insane.
Fucking amazing.
That's crazy.
It makes me proud to be an American. But dude, he went to Kabul after we pulled out, like quickly, like a month later. It's like, come on, bro. We already got embarrassed in our pull out of Afghanistan. Now you're gonna just come in here like it's like all good? No.
Yeah. Go smoke your cigarette and drink your coffee on your balcony every morning.
Yeah.
And
like
one day, like, what the fuck, dude? That's
like an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think we still had CIA agents in Kabul? Come on, man. You're slipping.
Mm-hmm.
You're slipping, and now you're dead. You're dead, son. All right. Therapy question number 4. Would you rather be an extra in an Oscar-winning movie or the lead in a box office bomb? This is obvious to me, the lead in a box office bomb.
Yeah, because then that could become a cult classic later.
Yeah, and your name's on the marquee. Homie.
Yeah, and then, somebody would give you another shot. You just go straight B movies, do like scary movies and shit like that. Like,
yeah, like it's like Matthew McConaughey, like had like a couple rom-coms that bombed. He went away for a little bit, came back with True Detective, and then he's just off to the fucking races.
He came back and played basically himself the whole entire time after his movies bombed. He's like, what is life?
Time's a flat circle.
Time's a flat circle.
All right, all right. Don't talk to me on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are my day off. They're my drinking day. I start drinking 9 a.m.
Damn. Such a good fucking show. That's such a good season. I thought all 3 were good though. So anyway,
I like Vince. I mean, I like Vince Vaughn a lot. Like, so I wanted it to work, but I don't even know if I finished that second season. And I definitely didn't watch the third.
Third's good. Third season's good because it kind of all. It's like it's like a universe. So that's but yeah, definitely. I mean, being an extra in an Oscar-winning movie doesn't mean shit.
Who gives a fuck?
I mean,
like, what does that mean? Like, you're like an elf, like in
I know.
Lord of the Rings?
I know what you're going to be talking about. Every conversation you have at the bar. Hey, so one time
dog,
I was in an extra.
Crash. I was in Crash.
I was in Crash, bro.
Dude,
and
everybody hates that we won Best Picture.
I went in the bathroom, dude. Totally saw Ludacris's dick. It was huge, bro. Huge. And then like 2 weeks later, did I tell you about the time I saw Ludacris's dick when I was on that Oscar movie? It was crazy, dude.
It was so small. It's like, you said it was big.
Yeah, it was pierced. It's like you just keep adding things.
Prince Albert.
Yeah, you got Prince Albert, dude.
His dick was actually albino.
Prince Luda. That's what he called it. He pointed at it and said, "This is my Prince Luda."
He called it Luda. Still smoking that stinky Buddha.
And then he zipped it up and he said, "Roll out." And he walked out. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen, dude. And it was like, this keeps changing.
He's like, dude, he was saying like face down, ass up isn't actually the way he likes to fuck. He likes to like the girl to breathe a little bit.
He's a straight missionary guy, actually. Believe it or not. Straight missionary. Yeah, I know. I didn't believe it myself.
Yeah, stomach to stomach missionary.
Yeah, Amish style.
We are done with therapy questions. We are on to the current events.
Because I added another one. This one's from the AP. Because I'm still on like Twitter and it's stupid, but it's funny.
It's called X. How dare you?
Musk's ex sues liberal advocacy group Media Matters over its report on ads next to hate group posts, which is fucking true, by the way.
Yeah, shit.
Like, I mean,
that's why they said it, because it's a truth. Media Matters doesn't lie.
Yeah, Elon Musk's social media company filed a lawsuit against liberal advocacy group Media Matters, saying that it manufactured a report to show advertisers posts alongside neo-Nazi white supremacist posts in order to drive advertisers from the platform and destroy X Corp. I mean, what a fucking tool. Media Matter. Yeah.
Hold on. In my League of Dorks 16-team league, Dynasty League.
Yeah.
Somebody like posts or like on the group chat like sent like a Twitter thing or an X thing, and he was like, Twitter. People on Twitter could be so mean and so funny, And I was like, it's called X, god damn it. And if by so mean you mean anti-Semitic, and then somebody goes, "Oh, so Twitter's anti-Semitic and so funny." Yikes, Andy. Yikes. And I was like, "No, just it's anti-Semitic." And the guy's name was Joey, so I said it was I just meant anti-Semitic, but good try, Joey Bag of Donuts.
Dude, the way advertisers have been fleeing the site formerly known as Twitter over concerns their ads popping up next to pro-Nazi content and hate speech on the site in general, while billionaire Musk's owners have inflamed tensions with his posts and endorsing anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. He posts some wild shit. Comcast said later, so you can start advertising on X after the Media Matters report. So basically, the way it works is because you pay for these subscriptions to be like a verified person with the little blue check mark. You pay for it,
Yes.
and there's a lot of people that pay for that who run fucking hate groups and run this stuff to get their stuff closer
Right.
to the top. So if you do that, a lot of the advertisers are attached. So there's a lot of people who are like, "Well, I have Twitter."
Yeah, because you could only make money, I think, if you have a blue check.
If you have a
That's the
blue
thing.
check, and that's how it's monetized. So
Right.
the more people view your posts, the more over time it like
Right.
builds up, and then like so it's sending it out to more people and more stuff.
So the more outrageous you can be, the
Well,
more
not just
money
if
you
you
make.
if you're verified, yes. So there's people who just have like meme Twitters and shit and make crazy money. So some people make wild money off of Twitter. But there's also people who just start these little hate groups or do this stuff and want their stuff to be at the top. So doing that, the ads are attached to these Twitter Blue subscribers and their content and to their followers because they get more views than anyone else. That's when the ads pop up and there's actual screenshots. Elon Musk is saying that they made tons of fake verified accounts to work algorithms and make things pop up and doctored stuff.
Bullshit.
And Media Matters is standing by. So there's a lot of people that have laughed at him for filing this lawsuit. This is a frivolous lawsuit
It's such a Trump move, dude.
to bully X's critics into silence. The nonprofit's president Angelo Carsoni said in a prepared statement. Meanwhile, Texas State Attorney Ken Paxton announces he's launching an official
Friend of the pod.
Oh, great friend, my favorite Texas politician. If we were in a room, I would punch Ken Paxton first, just because.
I would get in the middle of that because
Just because he's standing. He's more of a threat than Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott is a rolling duck. That's not going. He can get it. He gonna get it. But Paxton, he might make a move. He's probably not.
He's got that wonky eye.
He's not that agile. I don't think. I mean, based off that, yeah, his depth.
No, dude, he's definitely not.
His depth perception's
He needs
way.
to lower his A1C for sure.
Yeah, that wonky eye has got his depth perception way off. So he probably has weird steps and shit, like Ron DeSantis. But
Shuffling.
I only make fun of him because he's a piece of shit. But he's launching an official investigation into Media Matters for fraud. Ooh,
Dude,
the guy
okay,
who
and what
just
did they do?
got
Well,
off
hold
of
on.
18 counts being impeached for fraud is investigating you in fraud. That's great. That's just like whenever they talked about McCarthy being investigated. Matt Gaetz is like, we need an ethics committee to talk about, McCarthy elbowing somebody. And McCarthy's like, yeah,
I
that's
agree with Gaetz.
yeah, he's like, yeah, that's exactly what Gates should be doing. It's just this to looking
He's like,
into
no,
ethics.
Yeah, he said, getting involved with ethics.
Yeah, he's like, that's exactly what he should be doing. He's like, get the fuck out of here.
But but don't be so jokey about it because part of the dictator playbook is it's 3 steps. It's you take the arrest the current president, you take the military,
And take over the media.
Take over the media. So when you start having lawsuits against media members, Trump, if he gets back in, he's gonna be, it's first step. It's fucking suing CNN.
Oh well, Elon's probably sitting there
what these
like,
fuckers
oh,
do. So Elon is got
I will lay the
autocratic
groundwork.
tendencies himself.
I'll lay the groundwork and show them that this can actually be done, and then the dominoes will fall. He's such a cornball ass Lex Luthor character. He's shitty.
I know, but he's mimicking saying vermin and shit like Hitler did. He's saying
Musk has
Stephen
also
Miller, his
sparked
little-
outcry this month over his own post responding to a user accusing Jews of hating white people and professing indifference to anti-Semitism. And I saw it because it popped up with a fucking ad above it and below it because they're sandwiched everywhere, and this bitch ain't getting $8 from me. And now it's gone up. But he said, yeah, this guy posts this crazy, pretty anti-Semitic tweet, and it's like, he said, you have said the actual truth.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah, dude. And so there's multiple companies that did pause their money for sponsorship on X. Like they like big hitters. All these companies were like, yeah, we're not until you figure this shit out. We're not giving you any more money.
Yeah, and that's where him installing a new CEO, but it's like, no, dude,
Linda Yaccarino,
it's
what
like
a fucking joke.
Yeah, dude, like,
and she was actually good at her job. She was the head of ads, like at NBC Universal, I think. Like she's like not an idiot, but like she's like put in this fucking ridiculous position, and she sounds like a dumbass because Elon doesn't like talk to her.
Well, it's a shell of a position. It's not.
Yeah, it just sucks. She needs to get out of there, bro. She could probably get a job like in 5 minutes at a real company.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's is she actually gonna do that?
I don't know. She said she's gonna go down with the ship.
Oh, of course. I mean, who knows how much money he's fucking paying her? The point of view has always been very clear that discrimination by everyone should stop across the board, but you're not doing anything. It's gone up so much, dude. There's so many wild ass Twitter accounts where it's like, and there's some that are like, like meme accounts where it's like men posting L's, women posting L's, or stuff like that, or all goofy shit. The comments under some of these posts are absolutely insane. Some of the most racist tweets I've ever seen. It'd be like, what was it? Who was it?
We're gonna start naming the most racist tweets. Are we gonna start?
No, it was like somebody's daughter was dating a black guy. And it wasn't Bill Gates. It's somebody else. And they were like, but even though she broke up, and it was the comments underneath it were like, I won't even repeat them.
Yeah.
Terrible, blatantly racist tweets by people with blue check marks that are up near the top that have tens of thousands of views who keep getting retweeted. It's like, no. And I'm like sitting there like seeing it. And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? This shit's wild.
Yeah, it's off the fucking rails, dude.
And now, so I mean, because he tweeted out.
So for him to, it's laughable for him to like even contest this.
And
it's like, you're doing it, Elon.
And he tweeted this out. It was at 1 a.m. on November 18th. The split-second court opens on Monday. X-Corp will be filing a thermonuclear lawsuit against Media Matters and all those who collude in this fraudulent attack of our company. And then they have this really weird thing about like this post where he's talking about like, oh, we stand by this. And their board, their donors, their network of dark money, all of them. And the cringiest tweets, I mean, protecting free speech by, this is actually a good one. This is by the First Amendment, which is something I follow. It's an account I follow. It's unverified, but it's fucking hilarious because anytime someone's like, oh, First Amendment, this First Amendment account will be like, well, okay, and it'll explain how it works. It's obviously some lawyer somewhere explaining. First Amendment, it's like protecting free speech by suing others for their free speech. LOL. Okay. After that, oh yeah. Thank you. This is an important fight. Need more of this flame. Drop the hammer. And these are all green check marks. Everything is green checks. Like where you could literally.
What's the difference between green and blue?
I'm sorry. Blue check marks. Blue check marks. I apologize. Blue. So these are all, and that's all you see at the top. The one at the very top is the First Amendment, which is not. After that, everything else is like, it's like Charlie Kirk, happy to help. Happy to help. All these like cringy fuckers just popping up. It's the same one. Libs of TikTok. Yes, go get them. That's someone who doxes people on a regular basis. I don't get it. How are you protecting free speech? Suing others for free speech for doing their own research. I mean, and like the way the algorithms are set up on Twitter is, if you have a blue check mark and you have a following and people look, you get advertisers next to it on your Twitter feed. It doesn't matter what it is because they don't regulate what the fuck you say. It's obvious they don't.
First thing he did was fire all the fucking regulators. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
The safety. Team.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I've like thought about this recently, like and with all the like mass shootings, and all these people weren't like crazy for most of the, or not all of them, but like some of them weren't like that crazy, and they like started like hearing shit and went crazy. And like Elon, wasn't like this like complete fucktard, like and now he's like lost his mind. It's like, doesn't that scare you that that could happen to you? It's like nobody says like how you just start hearing voices, you know, and like it's like what if that just happened to you and then you became like a mass shooter, like that's how your life ends. Like that's fucking crazy, dude. Like I don't, you know. Or you become an anti-Semite, the biggest anti-Semite in the world, Elon. Like
Yeah,
what?
an
I guess
apartheid,
it's
an heir to an apartheid child labor
yeah.
mine.
It's like you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Well, I'm the heir to this big apartheid mine. It's pretty great. We got a lot of emeralds out of it. My dad married my sister. It's tight, dude. We're cool.
His
Whatever.
dad married his sister?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that? Or like a
No.
stepsister? Yeah, dude. They have some weird ass shit. His dad is fucked up. That family is
No, that his
fucked.
dad's fucked up. I didn't know like that shit. I didn't know
Yeah, it
he
was
was like
some
doing like
weird. It was some weird
what's
shit.
his name?
Oh, I'm gonna pull this up. It's Woody Allen.
Yeah, Woody Allen.
Jesus, what a fucking creep.
Is he?
Hold on, Elon's. Yeah, married his stepdaughter. Had a secret second kid with stepdaughter. So he's having, yes, Elon Musk's father had a secret kid with his stepdaughter.
I mean, at least they're not blood related, you know.
That's fucking
All
weird.
we need is
So that
all we
is
need
so that
is another Musk with brain damage.
so that
walking around.
that's like, you know, that is, I guess it's a reverse Woody Allen because it's stepdaughter, not adopted.
It's not a reverse. It's like it's Woody Allen adjacent.
Yeah. Okay. Same neighborhood, same cul-de-sac, next door to each other.
Caddy corner.
Yeah, caddy corner. He's 2 yards. He's 2 yards that way. A next article, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. A lot of people say nothing's gonna come from this. I don't think anything's gonna come from it.
Oh, obviously not. Maybe they might fine him for bringing a frivolous lawsuit, wasting everybody's time.
Yeah, I mean, people gotta remember too. He said he was gonna buy X Twitter and turn it into X Corp. Come to X Corp, but it didn't. He ended up doing it like against his will because he was about to have to.
Because he found out that how much money he's about to lose on the day he owns it.
Yeah,
he's like, oh,
and he got sued. He got
44
got sued by the board and then lost in court. And it's like, "Ooh, I'm coming in with the kitchen sink." That's what I knew. He was just like, "Fuck, we're screwed. This fucking chode."
Yeah. Okay. So whenever I said in the group text, it's called X. God damn it. The guy responded. He said, "I'll never call it X. I'll only call it." And it's like, dude, at this point, you should be calling it X because it's not what Twitter was before. And if you did like Twitter, like you wouldn't want to associate what X is like to that. It is a different product, right? It's just completely different, like what you're getting.
Yeah, it's not the same at
it's
all.
Yeah, it's not Twitter anymore.
No, it's not. Like
I would call it X if I was you, like, or not you, but like a Twitter user.
I was super
evangelist.
Yeah, I was super pissed when they changed it. And there's some people that are still on it, and they're just like, "Oh, it's the best thing ever." And it's like, no, man. Like it's lost all of its luster. Now I look at it because it's like a cringe circus.
Yeah, exactly. It's just totally different why you're looking at it. You're not looking at it for like NBA Twitter, or maybe you are.
I still look at sports and stuff because it's a good place to do that. But it's definitely like some news, but it's all skewed, and everything that's at the top of trending is something stupid.
So the White House released a statement, going at Elon for making the anti-Semitic comments and shit, and then. I don't know if the audience knows this, but Threads, which was created by Meta, which is Facebook's parent company, and which own Instagram. So I created my Threads account through Instagram, and so now if anybody of my Instagram followers or people that I'm following go to Threads, it automatically has me follow them. And I got an update today that Joe Biden had just or the POTUS account, the official president account that Trump refused to use because he wouldn't have as many followers. Yeah, but the actual official one that they started under Obama, now Biden, just is now on Threads for the very first time today or yesterday, I think, because of this Elon shit. So they're like, ooh, time to get out. Even the president was like, dude, this is whack.
Yeah, it's he
And
released.
shout out, it was his birthday yesterday.
They released like all of the shitbags who were on Twitter. I mean, I think everybody but Elon Musk. I mean, not Elon Musk. Alex Jones is on Twitter at this
Of
point.
course it is. They asked Trump to come back, but Trump's like,
Well, his account's up, so that's what I'm saying. You can go look at his cringy ass tweets leading up to January 6th, and then they just stop. It just stops. They're pretty bad. You're like, damn.
it abruptly stops.
Yeah, it just abruptly stops. Yeah, the count. You can go look.
Even though he doesn't use it.
Yeah, well, because it was suspended, and then they unsuspended it. But he can't. He has to use truth.
I know, but did you see this thing where Jimmy Kimmel, I think it was he had to apologize for saying that Truth Social lost $72 million because it only lost $72 billion because it had only lost $36 billion.
I didn't see that.
So he's like, I'm sorry, you're right, it wasn't 70.
Writer's correction.
36 billion that you lost, which is actually like, kind of successful for a Trump, a Trump business.
Yeah, that's good. You had 36 billion. Damn, man. Of other people's money. All right, well, moving on. Botox and OnlyFans. This is a George Santos update.
Maybe it was million. Yeah, maybe it was million. I think he had.
Yeah, billion would be a lot, dude. That's a lot.
Yeah. He's like, what? I'll just keep this money.
This is a little George Santos update. We talked about him earlier when he was like clutching babies. He's been a big topic on this podcast. Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. Shout out. Give him
big,
the clap.
Yeah, give him the chat.
Before he gives you the clap.
So good old Georgie boy, our favorite, black Holocaust family member, dying, then surviving, 9/11 surviving mother.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of tragedy.
He was actually there in Israel on October 7th. He survived that too.
He was actually the person. So if you watch the Secruder film, he's actually running across the grassy knoll trying to tackle the guy who ended up shooting him. He got away, which is unfortunate, but he was actually.
It was hot out.
Yeah, he was trying to get him. Well,
sweater vest on.
Well, it just so happened that the drag parade he was not a part of. Even though there are pictures of him, he's like the.
Oh yeah.
He was. They cross. Yeah. But it's not. Who cares if he does? It's the fact that he fucking. It's that he fucking lied about it, and then they're like, "Nah, bro. There's like you can just like put your picture into Google Images and pull up related photos. There is a lot of you.
Google got
you got Google. You got Google got, bro. That's actually really good. I like that. Touche. Google got. Botox and OnlyFans. So we talked about maybe 2 episodes ago. They did a vote to oust him and remove him, but they said they wanted to wait for due process when it comes to this ethics investigation before they remove him. There's Democrats.
Which I get. The Democrats wanted to.
Opening up Pandora's box.
Because Trump gets in office, everybody's got like accusations, and then like they're like, oh well, you
got to keep the decorum just in case the decorum tries to get thrown out the window. Well, we have updates from this ethics investigation, which is fantastic. The title of this article, which is from BBC. I love BBC. Botox and OnlyFans. George Santos won't run for re-election after damning ethics reports. So before he said he was going to run for re-election, he's now saying that he's not going to run for re-election after seeing what came out. So he's basically...
Hold on, real quick. You said this is from the BBC?
Yeah.
Do you think that's what he's buying his subscriptions of? BBC?
No, there was... we'll talk about it. There was OnlyFans model. He subscribed to me.
Big black cock?
I get it, but there was a female OnlyFans model who released a statement and was like, this dude subscribed to me, and she was like, he had me rate his dick.
Ooh. And what was the rating?
She didn't say, but she was. Why? But there was a lot of they were just laughing. So I mean, she was just like, because
I need that rating.
All right. Well, George Santos will not run for re-election in 2044 after Health Ethics Committee released a damning report on his conduct. The panel of Republican congressmen from New York blatantly stole from his campaign and exploited every aspect of his House candidacy for his own personal and financial profit.
That's what we were saying, is that he's always ready to scheme.
Yeah, he's ready,
so
dude.
He's like, so every aspect, he's like, every part of his job, where can I scheme?
Anything he could do. On social media, he said it was a politicized smear. Still, he said he would not be seeking a second term. In light of the probe, my family deserves better than to be under the gun from all the press all the time, Mr. Santos wrote in a long post. His time in office could end sooner than next November, though. Three of his colleagues, two Democrats, one Republican, said on Thursday they would introduce a measure to expel him. In the reports, which split evenly between Republican and Democrats, said that he reported fictitious loans on political committees in order to induce donors to make further contributions for his campaigns. So he lied about getting donations to actually get donations from people and would like do fraudulent things.
That's like what Ivanka Trump and Jared do, is they lie and say that people, yeah, that their penthouse, or not their penthouse, but just their apartments are full, and so then people will move in, but it's actually like empty.
Yeah. He then diverted campaign money to himself as repayments for those fictitious loans it found. He spent, this is bullet points, spent campaign money on Botox treatment, luxury fashion purchases, trips to Atlantic City and Las Vegas, holidays in the Hampton, and even his own rent. Recorded 37 expenses of exactly $199.99, 1 cent below the threshold set by the law that requires campaign to keep them to keep receipts.
How many?
37.
So he's just pulling out $199.99 37 times.
Yeah. Was frequently in debt, had a abysmal credit score, and relied on an ever-growing wallet of high-interest credit cards to fund his luxury spending habits. Hired one of his own companies to work for his campaign. The company, Redstone, paid Mr. Santos at least $200,000, which he used to pay credit card debt and make purchases for companies including Hermes, OnlyFans,
Hermes.
Hermes. Well, I'm thinking, I'm on some Greek shit. OnlyFans and Sephora. So this motherfucker was using campaign money to buy OnlyFans. Claimed to own multiple properties and a luxury car. The report states at no point does the Representative Santos appear to have owned a Maserati, despite telling campaign staff otherwise. So this motherfucker is like, I own a Maserati, like lying about shit, paying off his bad credit cards, wiring money at Western Union.
The guy that threatened to shoot me multiple times while his mom was filming, he drove a Maserati, and I always wondered, like, how the fuck did you get this, dude? You broke motherfucker.
If you actually look online, you can go find a Maserati for like pretty cheap on resale used, because they're so expensive to maintain that whatever you pay for it to own it, you're going to spend more in maintenance and upkeep over the life of you keeping that car than you spent on it. So they're a fucking money trap, because it's a fucking race car. So it's like they're terrible. That's why I want you after this pod, go anybody.
I like that.
Go on.
Now I'm like, yeah, this dude's gonna have fucking financial issues because of your shit Maserati boat.
Like, you could go find a Maserati, a 4-door Maserati that's at least like 8 years old for probably like 30 grand, 40 grand.
I was surprised he even had that much money, because I told him that whenever I went to check him, and he's like, I don't have a gun. My first response was, I know you don't have a gun because you can't afford a gun.
Damn, that's actually pretty harsh, dude. He's like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, it's kind of true, bro. You are.
Well, you just said you were going to shoot me, bro, so it's on now.
Big facts. But, and claimed multiple properties. He uses high connections to high-value donors and other political campaigns to obtain additional funds for himself through fraudulent or otherwise questionable business dealings. So this motherfucker said he had no idea what OnlyFans was. So that's what's funny. So he sat there whenever he was questioned by them. He's like, I don't even know what OnlyFans is, which is a fucking lie. How is there's not...
You know that he's painted his toenails and tried to sell feet pics as a woman on OnlyFans.
I was talking about starting another site called Only Feet and Fingers. It's just all feet. That sounds creepy as fuck. But
and accepts Christ coin.
Yeah, of course, always. I mean, we're obviously an equal opportunity
for the holidays.
Equal opportunity employer, and
Facts.
We accept all types of digital currency. But if you use Christ coin today, 20% off.
Black Friday deals. Oh yeah, by the way, I was gonna congratulate you or hype you up because it's your people's holiday on Friday.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
gotta do. It's
Black Friday. I
yeah.
know, like you a big supporter of the black community.
And we go out, it's as a unit, and we go take Christmas gifts. That's it's a tradition.
Dude, I was just watching this whole thing about like these smash and grabs at like all these stores of like people like like gangs going in there like 17 deep and just taking like all the shit.
That shit's wild.
I know.
But
Actually, shoplifting is down in this country, but the amount of like I think money lost is up or something. I don't know what it is, but he was saying like shoplifting's down, but these events of like 15 people running into a department store are way up.
well, I mean that's
Like Walmart just like one of their stores just opened a police station inside the store. That's how you know you got the FU money as Walmart, but also that you got a problem.
yeah, that is definitely a problem. It's like Eagles. It's like Eagle Stadium, the Link and the Vet. They had a jail cell and like a courtroom, so you get a rain.
Cowboys Stadium out of jail.
You can get, I don't know, but it just sounds cool. Fuck the Cowboys. If you get arrested at a Cowboys game, you're a bitch.
Unless you're an Eagles fan.
Yeah, he said that he had no idea what OnlyFans is. Now they're gonna try to get him. Like he was being interviewed.
Are you surprised that it's like a woman that he's subscribed to?
No, I mean I think he's.
You don't think he's gay?
I think he's no because he's
the one truthful.
No, because he was married. Remember, he was married, and then he's. I think he's.
You think he pretends like he's gay? Because he does sound like like. I mean, not to say that gay people have a sound, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Oh, Jesus, I'm just.
I mean, like, is that even a thing? Like to not be able to say like gay people have. Like,
well, I'd say
they have a vibe,
I don't think that he cares who it is. If you have if you're something that he can
open.
If you're I think he's.
If he can steal something out of your wallet,
he'll
afterwards.
fuck you. If he can steal, he'll fuck you. If he can rob you, that's it. He's like, like okay, that belt, $75, some nice J's. Like, we can go fuck. I'll suck your dick.
He's definitely a bottom.
I'll suck your dick, but let me hold your watch. Like, right? Like, I think that it's.
Of course. 100% him.
Something like that. Or he pulls your pants down and takes your wallet out and puts it in it, and then you're distracted. Yeah. And then old Georgie's on his way. He's on his way.
Georgie boy scored again.
On his way to some fundraiser for something that his family died.
Like he's obviously a sociopath. At
point. To the peak, dude. He's like,
so he maybe he doesn't care about jail, but don't you think or about not jail, but a sense of relief if he goes to jail to be like, because you're scheming so many things.
It'll be interesting to see where he gets arrested once he gets out of office, if it's at the airport.
I heard they might make a deal that if he just agrees to never run for office again, that they might
just let him walk.
Give him jail time. Yeah. And I was like, people say that with Trump, and I'm like, no, that won't work, because then they'll be like, see, it was a deep state plot to get him to not run.
No, I think with him, the feds might, the state won't.
That's kind of how it works too with Trump.
You know? He's in the state of New York, and they're sticking it to Trump. They're gonna come for this fucker. There are so many Republicans that exist in New York that are so mad. I mean, they're
gonna lose their seats because of it.
The original move to expel him was brought forth by a bunch of Republicans that are from New York, from his area, who were like, this motherfucker lied to us. That motherfucker sucked my dick and stole my wallet. I want him out of office tonight. I want him out.
And I don't even care that.
And there was a picture of my old dog from college, Scooter. I want my goddamn wallet back, Georgie.
And that baby that he was carrying.
Yeah.
Dude. He's like a part of the negotiations with Israel and Hamas. Let that baby go.
I'm convinced he didn't know the baby or the person. I think he just saw cameras 100%. And just snatched it and ran. Was just like, help, like, get out, dude. Nah, he wouldn't. Because he views that. He's like, that baby. He's like, I could get something for that on the open market. He's always looking to scheme. Yeah. So he took the baby and he's like, what can I do? How can I make money off this baby?
Dude, he sold his best friend's baby for angel dust in Miami one time.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised. And then if he escapes, then like
I'd be surprised if he had a best friend.
the Brazilian government's still looking for him. They know where to find him, dude. He's gonna like walk out.
I forgot the Brazilians.
Yeah, they're like, dude, this motherfucker been running around ripping people off. Yeah, like you owe, you owe me some fucking money, dude. Like,
yeah, dude. We're taking you back to the Amazon.
Yeah, you sucked my dick too and stole my boy's wallet. He was just watching.
You're on a fucking boat on the Amazon River. You sucked my dick, stole my fucking
wallet. I stole my wallet. I stole my boat. Oh, well, I came too. I was in a life raft. But then I see this motherfucker 2 weeks later. He acts like he doesn't know me. I'm like, motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
So they're talking about.
He's got a new name.
Yeah, he changed. Dude, incredible. I mean, so he's obviously in a lot of hot water. They just had this vote. And now the information's out. Botox, OnlyFans, getting called out by people he was subscribed to.
I was looking at his face. I was like, the Botox holds up. Like, what if he's like 60? We just didn't know.
But the confidence of this man is just, it's...
irrational confidence.
Dude, it's not even, it's beyond irrational. Irrational is like, it's beyond,
I know. When I say I have irrational confidence, it's like me. I haven't been on a basketball court in a year, but I guarantee you, I just drained through.
And some of these pictures of him walking around the house and like these, like he's like a bigger dude, whatever, wearing these little tiny ass sweaters and shit. Like if he's going to
just go one size
if
up,
he's
dude.
spent,
I know it's painful because like your boy did gain a lot of weight like back in the day, recently, or I lost a lot of weight recently, but your boy was kind of chubby, and I was holding on to the mediums, I was holding on, but I just had to go to large one day. I was holding on to the 32 waist, holding it, and then I was like, 33, I guess. But now your boy's back in town.
Okay, look out, shout out. But
he's just got to go a size up. That's all I'm saying.
We've been talking about this
uncomfortably tight.
We've been talking about this since this guy was running. Everybody knew this guy was a fraud since he started running, and it's stuff like this. Okay, so take out your own. I mean, it's hard as I have my own political bias because I can't stand these fuckers. But
that's not even politics. That's just being.
But exactly, like if you just look at it in like a realistic, moral standpoint,
this guy's a fucking idiot.
And not like I'm some arbiter of morals, but good lord, dude, like, what the fuck is going on? Like
he flipped that seat from Democrat to Republican, so like that, so it hurts. It hurts that the Republicans won with such a.
I don't think they'll. I think they're just like someone take it. They're just like take it. Somebody take it. Who wants it. Somebody other than this fucking moron.
You would think they would do the same with Trump, but he was able to build a cult.
Yeah, this baby snatching, fucking pocket watch stealing piece of shit. Oh, because he's the type of person who's like, well, he has a pocket watch, so he must be cool. I gotta hang out with him. Like he's one of those guys. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he has pocket watches like that he wears, but they're just lost in like the vest. It's like lost in his body.
All right, next article. Binance chief Changpeng Zhao pleads guilty to money laundering charges. Justice Department is saying it's requiring Binance, the largest crypto exchange in the world, to pay $4.3 billion in penalties and forfeitures.
We called this
wild. Well, not just us. SBF.
Yeah. So this is Z, who was Buddy, who runs Binance, which was the first biggest crypto exchange besides FTX at the time before FTX collapsed.
Yeah.
He was the one. They had a bunch of FTX coins. He sold a ton of them and then announced to the world that he thought something fishy was going on with FTX, which sparked the investigation, which led to the collapse of FTX. Was like a bank run on him. So this is the guy who brought down FTX because basically it was like a competitor, and now he's fucked.
Yeah, I mean, now that's a lot of money. Binance enabled nearly 900 million in transactions between U.S. and Iranian users and facilitated millions of dollars.
Right?
Yeah. And facilitated millions of dollars in transactions between U.S. users and users in Syria and in Russian-occupied Ukraine regions of Crimea.
What?
That's what I'm saying. He's just like flipping. He's just like washing people's money.
Yeah.
So that's what he was doing.
Russian money.
Yeah. So he was washing.
Russia is like heavily in Syria.
Oh yeah. So he's
and Iran. And Iran has sanctions, and Russia has sanctions, and Iran, the United States, and Russia all have bases in Syria right now.
Between August of 2017 and April of 2022, there were direct transfers of approximately 106 million in Bitcoin to Binance wallets from Hydra. Hydra was a popular Russian darknet marketplace frequently utilized by criminals and facilitated the sale of illegal goods and services, which is basically like Silk Road. If you don't know what Silk Road is, highly suggest you look into it. There's some great podcasts on it. No, I mean don't go to it. But what I'm saying is,
why not?
but like, well, I mean, you can, and I mean,
It's scary. It's the dark web. Ooh.
well, no, I mean, I think plus they got popped.
Then they shut it down.
Yeah, they got shut down. That's why I'm like, don't, just it's not there anymore. But Silk Road was started by somebody who actually was like living in Austin when he got busted. College student, and it was an online web forum that utilized cryptocurrency. You had to access it on the dark web through a Tor browser or a Tor computer, Tor something. You could get a Tor browser, you could go through, tap into the dark net, go to Silk Web, you would transfer actual money to Bitcoins, and you could purchase like guns and drugs and meth lab equipment and people and hitmen, all sorts of stuff. It was the Dread Pirate Roberts was his handle, and he ended up getting popped by somebody. And yet, what's weird about that is they caught him. All you had to catch him on a computer before he could eradicate it from his computer. So you have to like catch these guys logged the fuck in. And they actually caught him logged in. I think it was like a public like internet cafe or something wild. Tracking this guy for months. Tracking this dude for months. But so Hydra, if that's the equivalent of that, I mean, that's just, yeah, if you want a hitman, I want to pay me 50 Bitcoin and I'll go kill your neighbor. Like goofy shit like that. That's like, it's these webs you can buy. You can buy anything like fake passports, fake IDs, all sorts of stuff. And that's just like surface level, obvious crimes and against the law. There's all sorts of fucked up shit on these dark webs that you can purchase and buy. It's fucking weird. So if you're taking money, 106 between 2017 and 2002. So they were taking money from these 106 million in Bitcoin to Binance wallets from Hydra. This will advance our criminal investigation into malicious cyber activity and terrorism funding, including the use of cryptocurrency exchanges to support groups such as Hamas. So that's what they're saying is like these can be utilized for terrorist networks. If you're getting a bunch of Bitcoin from Syria, what?
Yeah, Syria specifically, that's a fucking problem. And also like North Korea, their entire economy relies on them stealing Bitcoin and being able to use these exchanges to launder it. It's like that they just have an army of like cyber hackers that it's literally crypto is like building the nuclear weapons for Kim Jong-un.
Oh yeah.
Because they don't have any fucking exports.
Oh yeah.
Like, barely any.
Just
maybe like some coal.
Yeah. It's already used.
Seriously.
It's already used.
Yeah.
It's dirty coal. We like clean coal. Stupidest shit ever.
Even though Kim Jong-un.
In March, U.S. regulators sought to ban Binance, alleging that the firm had been operating in the country illegally. The lawsuit from the Commodity Futures Trading Commission said the firm cultivated U.S. businesses while failing to register properly with the authorities. So it's like they all try to circumvent, and then it kind of comes crashing down. But that's what, I mean, we kind of called this whenever we saw FTX go down, that it's like, nah, man, they're all doing shady shit. There's not a single one of them that's not shady, doing something weird, trying to get one up on somebody.
Yeah, but and we were also covering with like Coinbase. It's getting like looked at, investigated, and I was like, Binance, it's right there.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're right there. So I mean, that's, we're seeing all these major players come crashing down. The company was accused of a web of deceptions by the Securities Exchange Commission, or SEC. The agency said that the trading platform and Zhao, its founder, ignored the rules meant to protect investors in order to keep operating in the U.S. They have pledged to use existing laws to root out fraud and other issues in the crypto industry, especially after the dramatic collapse of Binance rival FTX last year. It's the whole allure and idea of crypto, not that I'm like some guru on it, but a lot of it was that it was free,
off the grid,
and like
decentralized,
and all these people taking advantage of the fact that it's that is why that if it becomes centralized or absorbed, it's going to be because of stupid fucks like these guys.
Well, yeah, so there's that, but then it's also like I think people who commit like fraud with like Bitcoin. It's on the blockchain, and they can find you. So what we like, how is it like, it's like in one way it's like a way to launder money, but in another way it's like you're tracking everything. Like so it's a way to like track everything.
Yeah, it's
And
like
most
when they caught those people who ripped off all of them at
yeah.
like
Yeah, the one that we
50.
covered.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
right.
covered that like,
They like, stole like from like Walmart or something, right? Like
well, they sold from a bunch of different people. They
yeah,
sold from, they like ripped it out and then put it in an account, and we're like going around trying to pull out money and pulling it from like
right.
Bitcoin kiosks and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
And they still ended up getting caught because you can only do so much before it just like tracks back to something, and you have to pull it from that wallet
Yeah.
and move it. So they know that wallet has an owner, and it's just like, who's the owner of this wallet? And they can just wait till you pull it out, go to the kiosk at some fucking 7-Eleven that has a Bitcoin kiosk, and be like, hey, let me get the surveillance footage from this time of the person that walked up to this and used it. They got you. Doesn't take very much, and they know what time you did it, and they can know your exact time. I just need to see 7:38 and 45 seconds in the morning today. Just pull that up because that's when
I
this
know,
bitch
but
did
like,
it.
but yeah, then there's ways to use like VPNs and shit. Like,
Oh
to
yeah,
get away with it. But yeah, but no, I agree. But so yeah, there's just a lot of what do they call it? Cognitive dissonance when it comes to cryptocurrency and the advantages and disadvantages. Like you have to hold two thoughts in your head at the same time. It's like it is like decentralized in one way,
it's
but then
gambling.
it's the most. I know. I'm just talking about blockchain in general. Just like, it's like it's out of the U.S. financial system, but you're tracking every single fucking like transaction like uniquely to you.
Yeah, well, it's outside the financial system,
Until it's
but
not
it's
Binance.
not outside of the because you're committing fraud and ripping people out. It's
Right,
not
right.
outside the
Justice Department.
the
Yeah,
judicial system. So we'll be seeing you.
yeah,
Wallet number 2578789. Like it could be, like
right.
we'll
Exactly.
you make your move and we'll be there maybe like 10 minutes after you pull that money out there, buddy.
Right.
So I mean, but another one falls. I mean, it's a big
And
deal.
they're the biggest ones. Like I'm surprised that we still have the Crip out here in L.A. Crypto.com Arena.
4.3 billion in penalties and forfeitures. That's a lot. That's like
Is he going to jail, or is this a civil case?
I don't know if to get him because he's not here. So to get him here for court to do that, I think that'd be difficult.
He's not like in a shack in the Bahamas that we can just
Ooh,
convince
fuck it. Yeah, I know. And
the
some
Bohemians.
yeah, in some weird bohemian like condo with all these weird people that y'all fucking do drugs with.
Are Bohemians and Bahamans different?
No, that's the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Bohemian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I.
think that's correct. Like Jamaican, Bohemian,
Yeah,
Virgin Island, and
yeah. I've sailed the Virgin Islands, my friend. U.S. Virgin Islands.
like on a cruise ship, or like you actually like
No,
on like a
on a
schooner,
sailboat
on
with,
on a schooner, dog.
with George Willett and his family.
All right. Next article: The Lion, the Wig, and the Warrior. Who is Javier Milei, Argentina's president-elect? I want to hear your takes on this because you're Mr. International. So I want to hear. I want
worldwide. Pretty worldwide.
So I wanted to hear your thoughts
Get your Atlas.
about this 53-year-old economist has rocked the political establishment and inserted himself into the long been effectively two-party system by amassing a groundswell of support with his prescriptions for drastic measures to rein in soaring inflation and by pledging to crusade against the creep of socialism in society. The anarcho-capitalist libertarian. He's nuts.
He thinks sex education is a Marxist plot to destroy the family. And he views his clone mastiffs.
Oh, do you know how many he has?
As his children.
He has like 10 dogs and they're all clones of the same dog.
That is so.
He had one dog and he's like, it's the best dog ever. And there's interviews when they talk to him about his dogs. He's like, oh, or they show him. He's like, oh, that's my dog. It's like, and we all love dogs. That's established, but it's like creepy level of loving dogs.
Well, cloning, I think it's just weird,
A few years ago, he was on television. He was a television talking head who bookers loved because of his His screeds against the government spending and ruling political class boosted ratings at the time. Up until a mere months ago, hardly any political expert believed he had a real shot at becoming the president of South America's second largest economy, which he is now.
Yep. This guy's a hardcore capitalist. Shout out. So like, it's a Marxist plot. That's like, so what he's decided, he was going to close down their central bank and change everybody, like, get off the peso and
And
change
go
it
to
over to the U.S.
his
dollar.
dollar. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and he's like trying to be more friendly towards Israel and Ukraine. Uh, he's kind of like he's like going the opposite direction as a lot of these like right wing governments in South America go, but he carries a chainsaw around to every one of his rallies. And he wants to do some like, oh, he thinks that there should be an open market for speaking of selling organs on the deep web. He thinks it should be legal and it's just another market. And what else? Like, he's just got like really, he's just a psychopath, really. But he's like uh, kind of more Western vibes than, let's say Venezuela.
Yeah, but he's talked about getting rid of like all the cutting and getting rid of
Like multiple departments in the government.
Department of Education, Department of what is it? Like Women's Studies and Diversity. There's a clip of him and they have all the different departments of the government up and he's just ripping them off the board, naming them off. He's like, bye, gone.
This actually
gone.
this title that's in this article actually does kind of sum up like why I'm confused on like what he's about. They call him an anarcho-capitalist.
Yeah, I saw that.
Libertarian.
Yeah, because he has
That
liberty.
sounds exactly like him. That's a very perfect way to describe him. Like, let's get rid of all this government shit, but like, let's get on the dollar. Let's make some fucking money, and don't let the government talk to me about anything. Just everybody sell organs.
But he's also really against like woke culture. So anything that's like that would be considered
like
as
a ban on abortion back.
He's wanting to change a lot of things there, and some of them they have like some of the worst inflation in the world. There's a large percent of their population lives in poverty. There is corruption in the government there. There's obviously there's corruption in all governments, but he's
I know, but it's been bad there. Yeah, so he's kind of like a populist like Trump, but just with different ideas, but some of them the same.
Some of them are similar when it comes to like cultural stuff. He's talking about liberal people being pieces of shit on national television. He's like, they're all shit and they're gonna destroy you and they're fucking coming for you. We gotta come for them first. That same attitude where it's just like, oh, fuck all these people trying to be mindful of others. So weird to me.
Yeah, it's like Trump's like an anarcho-capitalist, but he's not a libertarian.
So we'll see. I mean,
Fascist.
Jury's out on this guy. Well, he seems fucking nuts. His interviews are crazy. Yeah, I don't know. To be continued. We don't like. I don't think we know.
He's wild. I mean, he's a wild man, but
I've just seen some of his interviews and stuff, and listened to some of his speeches, and I'm just like, man, this guy's pretty nuts and pretty like hard fucking core about this, and
he's got crazy sideburns.
Yeah, crazy facial hair.
Chops.
Just he looks nuts. He's
it's like Elvis 10 days after he died on the toilet.
Yeah. He like woke up like, was I out, man? They're like, yeah, Elvis, you were out cold, dude. You look like shit.
For a week and a half.
Have a peanut butter and banana sandwich and chill out.
Yeah, don't touch your chainsaw.
No, I'm gonna get back on the toilet, man. I gotta take a nap. I'm like, no, you're gonna die again, Elvis. So we'll see. But he is definitely a interesting individual. Last article by the AP: 4 men charged in the theft of a satirical golden toilet titled America at Churchill's birthplace. On September 16, 2016, somebody stole an 18-karat gold toilet called America, which is incredible, in the restroom at the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum in New York. 4 men were charged with theft for the 18-karat gold toilet. The sprawling English mansion where British wartime leader Winston Churchill was born. The toilet was valued at £4.8 million. or 5.95 million. I remember when those were flip flopped and dollars
No,
were worth. Is it
they
always?
used to be. Yeah, they've always the pound's been like worth more than the dollar, but it's because of stupid reasons.
Um, Concept is a concept toilet. So 4 men were finally arrested. The toilet was and they never found it. So it was missing. It's 5.95 million. It was artwork titled America, intended to point at pointed satire at the excessive wealth by Italian conceptual artist Mauricio Catalan. It was part of an installation at the palace near the city of Oxford, and it vanished overnight in September, which is awesome. And I was sorry, it was put in 2016. Somebody stole it in 2019, so they were staking this shit out.
Okay, let me backtrack on the currency exchange there. Yeah, you're right. It used to be flipped.
Yeah, it was flipped at one point. The Crown Prosecution Service said Monday had authorized criminal charges against 4 men, ages 35 through 39, over the theft. They were accused of burglary and conspiracy to transfer criminal property. 7 other people have been arrested involved in the heist, but no charges have been brought until Monday, 4 years after the toilet was stolen, and the toilet's never been found. You melt that shit.
Oh yeah, obviously.
You melt that shit. That's toilet gold.
American toilet gold.
Or watch this somebody like
Why does Churchill have a toilet that he's pooping in called America?
That's just a weird thing. We're gonna put in a golden toilet and make fun of rich Americans, and we're gonna put it in Churchill's birth house. That's random. That's random as fuck.
But yeah, you deserve.
I'm gonna put this oversized coat rack with this gag umbrella on it in honor of Carrot Top, and I'm gonna go put it at the Barnes and Noble down the street. It's fucking art. That's so.
Who else do you know has a golden toilet? I know one person. Donald Trump.
Well, yeah, but he's got golden.
So
everything.
is he our next Churchill? Oh my God, he's Churchillian.
No, he's not.
Churchillian.
He's not our next Churchill. He's David from the Bible. Or what was it? Or was it? He's just like Cyrus. Whenever he first got elected, and all the evangelicals.
Who's Cyrus?
Cyrus is another. He's like a.
Was he like a bad guy turned good guy?
Yeah, kind of like David's a bad guy turned good guy. David's not.
Yeah,
David defeats, because it's David from David and Goliath. So he defeats Goliath, and then he's like covered some dude's wife and murders him so he can bang this dude's wife. Bang some other dude's wife and shit. And they're always like, well, but David was good. It's like, no, David was kind of a dick. Like David was a dude, Mr. Steal Your Girl. He's like, hey, remember
Mr.
me?
Steal Your Girl. All right.
Remember when I killed that giant with that rock? It was pretty tight, right? You want to go bang? Like that's what it comes off
Was it a
as.
Cyclops? Did we determine?
So they say that like he was a tool. He made mistakes, but atoned for them, and David was used as a tool of God, as like an excuse in the Bible for this like really bad character who did some cool shit when he showed up on the scene, knocked some homeboy out, and now all of a sudden he's got too much clout and he's running around smashing other dudes' wives and like committing murders. David was an asshole.
So he was a lesson.
Yeah, same with Cyrus. I think
forgiveness.
But I just know that because like on TBN, they're like, it's just you gotta vote for him. He's just like David. He has problems, but he's gonna overcome them. I'm just like, oh my god, this shit's crazy. This fucking
baby. This couple.
The golden toilet was fully functioning prior to the theft. So you could, I guess you could. Visitors of the exhibit could book a 3-minute. You could book a 3-minute appointment to use it. Police said that because the toilet had been connected to the palace's plumbing, its removal caused significant damage and flooding to the 18th century building. Well, don't put a fucking golden toilet in the ground
that people can hang out with for 3 minutes.
Oh my god,
undisturbed.
That diamond sink I had, somebody stole it. No
shit. You could have like 3 guys book it 3 minutes in a row each.
And just like each person on assembly, and then the 4th person goes in and just wheels it the fuck out. Mr. Bean style, puts a fucking blanket over and just whoo, whoo, whoo. It makes it sound like a table and walks the fuck out. They're like, oh man, who's that guy with that squeaky ass cart? No, it's a golden toilet, son. The Guggenheim Museum, where the artwork... is the Guggenheim Museum in New York, where the toilet was installed in a bathroom prior to being shown at the palace. So it was there before. Described the toilet as cast in 18-karat gold.
Only 18? Come on.
Make use of the fixture individually and privately to experience the unprecedented intimacy of artwork. Good God. Just take a shit in a golden toilet. Why is it?
I'd do it.
It's art. It's art. It's art.
Yeah, I'd leave it
I'd
there.
shit in there.
It's
Yeah,
like,
that's what you gotta do. You gotta leave a floater. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Be like, yo, look at this shit.
Yeah.
Literally.
America, son. That's what I think. Yeah.
I'm an American pooping on America.
Shit. Be careful, dude. Mike, you can't.
Shit.
Will we ever see the toilet again? Personally, I wonder if it's in the shape of a toilet, to be perfectly honest. Police Commissioner Matthew Barber told the BBC. If you have that large amount of gold, I think it seems likely that someone has already managed to dispose of it in one way or another. They will appear in court on the 28th, prosecutor said. So this golden toilet that people actually shit in, that'd be weird. It's like, what if there's a floater in it and you gotta steal the toilet? Would you pick up a shit-filled toilet made of gold for $5 million, $6 million?
Yeah, plus I'm stealing
too.
from the British and giving back to America.
Yeah, that's the true American irony, is then you take it and you take it back.
Like, you don't get the shit in
install it in your house. You take a picture of it.
Oh, I'd smelt that gold. Isn't that the term? Smelt.
Yeah, smelting, where you melt it down.
Yeah. You know,
but then you'd be like,
I seen gold.
But I guess that'd be kind of good. It'd be like, oh, babe, thank you so much for this ring. It's beautiful. And you're like, yeah, that's shit gold. Somebody's
that's that shit gold.
There's
that's that British shit gold.
I didn't.
Like Guggenheimer
Yeah.
guts.
There's a little bit of fecal specks in that shit, bro. Not just gold specks, fecal specks.
And when anybody wants to see your ring, you tell them they have to book 3-minute appointments.
What's that? That's 18 karat brown, son. That's what that. Shit.
That's a little corn in there too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's the carrots. That's crazy though. So, you know, some homies stole a toilet and they got arrested. Oh. Dang, 2-hour mark.
You know, it was a busy week.
Yeah, busy week. And we've been having good, like, getting into stuff banter lately, which is good. Yeah. One of my buddies was listening to, like, man, your buddy's gambling's crazy. He's wild. I was like, oh, I know, dude. He's a good case.
It's a little crazy, but yours is crazier.
Well, yeah, but I never really do it. I don't do it.
You don't grind like me.
No, I don't do it. I'm like, I'm in and out. I'm like, thanks for, like, the $5,000. Bye. Yeah. And then I leave because I'm just like.
I look at other people that come there regularly, and but your boy hasn't been back, because I took the week off.
Yeah.
But I look at him, I'm like, the reason why you're not as good as me is because you don't grind like me. There's a Dallas Cowboys fan there that I always make fun of, and I told him that.
That's fair. 9-1. Boom.
Oh, 9-1, son. Dude, listen to this. This is the second time that Devontae Smith, the Slim Reapers, got 99 yards. I lose in our Texas league, where all the guys.
Yeah.
By 1.8 points because he got 99 yards again and didn't get the touchdown. He was at the one. The one would have got him the 100. If he got the touchdown, he would also got the 100-yard bonus. Either one I needed, the touchdown or the 100-yard bonus. If he doesn't get any, ends with 99, and I think I'm out of the playoff hunt now. $350 buy-in. Jesus Christ. And I had to pay Colin Montgomery's buy-in last year because we bet in the beginning of the season. Maybe it was 2. Oh, no, yeah, we bet who's going to have a better record, his team or my team, and the other one had to pay for their other one's buy-in. So I paid $700 last year.
Damn.
I know, it hurt.
That's brutal. Well, damn, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay, though.
Well, 114 in the bag. We'll see what else happens this week. Crazy week, man.
It's a crazy week.
And also, y'all have a good holiday. Spend it with friends and family, but it'll be
oh yeah. Shout out.
Gobble day.
Thanksgiving out here in the United States. And I think Black Friday is probably worldwide now. So Joseph, you and your people.
Hey, we're global with it. We're like Pitbull.
Biggest day of the year for you.
Yeah, black people, Gucci. Black guys worldwide. Let's have a real good time. Yeah, no, it should be good. But yeah, y'all just enjoy yourselves. Should be fun. Be careful because don't like drinking, driving shit. Should be wild. Cops be out. Fuzz be tripping.
I told my mom that I was gonna make the joke about the Black Friday, and
yeah.
And she was like,
"No, don't."
She's like, "Isn't that considered racist?" And I was like, "Probably, but it's part of the show."
Yeah, that's how
we're just joking around.
That's how we do. Well, awesome, man. Well, thanks for coming on again. Another one, 114. Next one's 115. Got anything for us?
Meditate, bitches.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here first, and yeah, You heard it here first. Meditate, bitches. I need to start doing that. Watch, I'm gonna start meditating. I'm gonna meditate between now and the next episode, and I'll tell you how it goes.
Hey, you know, and if you want to start out 5 minutes, that's cool. But the goal is to get to 20 minutes a day. You don't need to do any more than that.
Damn, it's a lot.
But any amount is plenty.
Oh, cool. All right, meditation like licorice candy, good and plenty. Terrible. All right, well, y'all be good. Well, it's disgusting candy. All right, y'all be good. Stay out of trouble. We appreciate y'all being here. We will see you next time. Go fuck yourselves. Get out of my face. Happy Thanksgiving.
Shut up.
Recording stopped.
Later, man.
Later, man.